Hello, John.
Hello, Brian. Now, I'm going to talk about marriage and what is it, or how is it fared out, marriage. There was a time when all the Catholics they were getting married, and often got married young, so that they had families, they had big families years ago. But now, with modern times, that number of children is not so much in families, and maybe only one or two, or maybe three at the most. So marriage was for life, and usually got married in a Catholic church and attended by a priest. But now marriages are taking place in registry offices for people, and even though they might be Catholics, but they're doing it that way. And also some people are getting married now by other means in hotels and that, with some ministers that mightn't be priests, people that are able to marry people by whatever occupation they have. So marriages has changed somewhat, and as a result, in some ways, and this is for Catholics, there was a time when there was rosary and benediction in churches. There was the altar rails, and people received Holy Communion kneeling at the altar rails. And then there was men's and women's sodalities, which it was every month. And so every fortnight there was either a women's sodality or a man's sodality in my time. And part of that was that it helped to solidify and strengthen marriages, because they were given talks and prayers and all the rest of it, and able to help to stabilise their marriages, because marriages sometimes have strains on them, the tribulations and all the rest of it that occur to us all. And so therefore, if they have that blessing, and if they have that understanding that there'll be good times and bad times, and but the fundamental basis of a good marriage is respect for each other and tolerance and that type of thing. And I think it helps then in a very happy marriage, and where their prayer life and the way they behave and bring up children is with the strength of the Catholic faith or another Christian faith, if they people believe in the Christian faith that they practice. So this is marriage between a man and a woman. But now it has had other meanings between two men or two women. I don't know what way to describe that, but that is a big move, a big change that was wrought in this country by people voting for it, and then in other countries by the laws that they don't need any, they don't have a constitution, so they just, the law passes these things and they suddenly become the law of the land. And no one disputes in any ways what people do. They're entitled to do what they do, providing they are legal and don't cause the spread of any diseases and such like this, depending on what they're doing. People, men and women, are expected to lead chaste lives as well. It's not just not anybody else until such time as they're married, and then then there's a different kettle of fish. So the married life then, how is it strengthened? I know in the Catholic faith, I'm going to a wedding, and they have to do a course if they're Catholics, to prepare them for, when the excitement and the kind of the love, whatever underpins their marriage, becomes not as strong, and that it's mutual respect and tolerance and all the rest of it, and that they need to have. So marriage needs to be done along those lines for it to last, because there's a lot of pressures coming from all angles. and now it's divorce is relatively easy to get, and sometimes no fault divorce and all this type of stuff. And so there's a lot of pressure now on marriages, and so they need every little help that they can get, in my opinion. And certainly this synod that's studying these things, I think they'd want to look at that aspect of bringing back some of the things that did strengthen marriages and family life years back, and including my own, I presume, and also other people that I knew that were friends and neighbours and all that their fathers and mothers was together. So these are situations, and sometimes people separate because they suddenly find that they have lost whatever it is that end of it that keeps them together. So these are all things to sort of, these are all the pitfalls, and we pray that these things will be dealt with for the good of family life, because after all, a good family life is how society is governed and ruled. They have standards, and standards are important to have. So that's my wish and prayer for marriage, and that it will be successful as regards people that are practicing a Catholic religion or a Christian religion or whatever it is that they practice, but that they adopt policies like that. Thank you.
Thank you, John.